So all of that from the second and the third all came back to the jobless man.
Yes.
23.1%.
Yeah.
Whose resume is expanding about the day.
Yeah, he has certificates, but he has no work ethic.
Okay, great. Then let's look at the policy environment, which is a point here about one step forward, two steps back. What you call is it becoming like a musical chair?
Yeah.
It's keep moving, but the question is in what direction?
No. See, there's what you call conflicts of interest and contradictions. Some policies contradict themselves because people are conflicted. The guys who are making the policies have interests. So there's what I call special interests, right, are higher than national interests. They're compromised. So, and it didn't start today, it's been along. The Nigerian policymakers have been compromised all along, and therefore they make suboptimal.
How much progress did we make, Mr. White? Okay. Let's unpack this page.
Okay, let me tell you what we did.
Very heavy. Look at the area of trade.
No, African Free Trade Agreement, we have not signed it.
Yes.
We're the champions of it. It's in our interest. I think we should go ahead and sign it. But again, suboptimal decision making. But the bilateral agreements we've had with China in terms of the swaps, Britain, and we are having now probably talking of South Africa is good. Then the Open Skies Agreement, which allows fifth freedom rights for African airlines. So you find Air Sky, Air Peace, Ethiopian Airlines, Kenya are flying. And we are getting.
But the African Continental Free Trade looks like the big one here.
Yeah, no, but we have to sign
down to our industrialization and manufacturing.
The president of the African Development Bank is a Nigerian. The guy in the Afrexim is Nigerian. So Nigerians, the OPEC Secretary General is a Nigerian. So what are we afraid of? We have nothing to fear but fear itself. But you see, vested interest has to be secondary to national interest.
Very interesting, because this is quite moving very fast. On other policy fronts, look at the VAIDS. It looks like very great, whatever, but the performance looks like, oh my God, it just went boom, then all the way down.
Tax. People have to have the willingness and the ability to pay taxes. An economy that is not growing, you are going to tax people where they're not growing. So, one. Two, if the people do not trust the government, because there's a trust deficit, they would not be motivated to pay taxes.
The voluntary asset declaration didn't even make up to 100 billion.
Yeah, it's a personal income tax thing. And, but tax compliance and the culture of paying taxes. Even the United States went to civil war, no taxation without representation. The basis of the United States was because of tax. So if the people do not feel that they're getting a fair deal, they won't pay.
Or value for money.
Absolutely. So it's part of it. So I think we should not, it's a good thing, but we have to allow things to, government is collecting 5 trillion in corporate income taxes. And what have you done with it? And what impact does it have on my life in 2018? So we have
the headlines on policies looks great. But
yeah, excise duty, again, cannibalizing the businesses of the alcohol, but again, you've got to pay taxes. So withholding tax and excise duty.
41 items?
41 items. Well, they're not valid for foreign exchange, but again, those items are all over the place. So we have a list of 41 items that should not be in Nigeria, but they're all over the place. You go to a restaurant, there's basmati rice, there's foreign toothpicks. So a law that is not effective is of no use. Now, investment, monetary policy, credit growth is slow. We need to do something about returning the what do you call it, the cash reserve ratio. And interest rate environment high when monetary conditions are tight. But again, you are balancing it out because you are trying to deal with inflation and price stability.
On investment side, do you think we have it all for
the Office of the Vice President has done this ease of doing business. We're moving up in rank. We're moving, and they are small things, but they are very significant, right? So the payback effect, people know about these things. You can register online. I try to get some information from the Corporate Affairs Commission. God bless Lady Azinge and Dr. Abiodun. They've transformed the CSC very well. I think we have to take note of that. The Office of the Vice President is doing a great job in terms of document and pulling.
Quick one.
MTN saga.
Yes, but let's move on quickly to the market, to the financial markets. Yes. Just about 1 minute. The stock market, the FX, and the money market. Yeah, we'll talk about the stock market. Okay.
Okay. Stock market.
Just about 18%.
Yeah, stock market up 18%, then negative 18% this year. But earnings were up 14%. Corporate earnings of the top 10 companies up 14% to 749 billion naira. That's the earnings. Free cash flow was up also another 37%. That is 354 billion. So Nigerian corporates are having, but their stock prices came down. Our non-performing loans actually came down, went up to, in 2018, was down to 12.4%. And banks' capital adequacy ratio also improved. So the companies are stronger. The earnings are getting more sustainable. But the investors are negative. They are dumping stocks because they want cash. So
is FX in that part of that play?
Well, the FX market, but let's face it, we had a correction in August. By December, we had a bear market. But the Forex market, stable, mildly volatile. The market went from 362 all the way to 375 and came back to close the year at 363. So generally speaking, and the Naira could be considered to be undervalued because fair value is about 336. And so, but the thing is that what to expect? The reserves went all the way to $48 billion and have come down to 43.
We entered the new year around that figure?
Yes, we are, in fact, it dropped by $60 million yesterday. But we've been able to manage this. But part of it, because we took borrowed money from the Eurobond to pay into the reserve account. But generally speaking, the foreign exchange market has been relatively well managed in 2018, right? And the interest rates, too high, but again, we had to support the currency.
Okay. Mr. Lawane, let's take a break. We'll take it up from there a little bit. The consumers, what does it all mean for them in the last year? Then we'll step into the brand new year, 2019. This is what you call the Power Play 2019, the year of expectations. I'm sure if you missed that novel, Expectations, written many years ago, maybe you just have to reread it. Find it.